He's a bad beast on that barbecue, on the grill or the smoker. He knows just what to do. He's a bad beast on that barbecue.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bad Beast Barbecue. Hey, today we're going to be doing a smoked ham, okay? Once again, like I said, this is kind of our series on holiday cooking, and the last video that we put up for holiday cooking was a orange brined turkey, and you can check that out if you want to. I'll put an iCard up here. We did it on the Kamado Joe, and we're going to be cooking on the Kamado Joe again today. So what we have here is a 9-pound spiral cut Hormel cured and fully cooked ham, okay? Now you can use a green ham or a natural ham if you want to. You're going to have to brine it for a few days before you're able to cook that. So it's easier just to go ahead and get a cured ham and go ahead and put your own glazes and injections in it, okay? So we're not going to be injecting this one today. It's all about the glaze today. And what we're going to be doing something a little unique. We're going to be making a Crown Royal peach glazed smoked ham, okay? So got to use this sparingly. You know how hard it is to get this peach Crown Royal. So we're going to be using about 2/3 of a cup in our glaze, okay? But we're going to go ahead and get this bad boy prepped. We're going to get the Kamado Joe going, and we're going to get this bad boy on the smoker, and we're going to see just how this comes out. So hey, hang around for the short prep work and don't go nowhere. All right, guys, so we took the ham out of the packaging, and of course, it comes with its own honey glaze mix, and I never use these things. I think it's sometimes they're either too sweet, too full of sodium, or they're just not good at all. So we'll toss that on the side and we'll make our own glaze, okay? All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get our ham ready for the smoker, okay? Now, remember that the ham has been cured, so it has some salt content to it, so you don't want to put too much seasoning on it. You just want to put a little seasoning on the outside of it to kind of balance out the sweetness that we're going to put on here, okay? And what are we going to use for a binder? Because, of course, this has been rinsed off and dried, and the outside of the hide of this ham, the rub will just fall off of you, just sprinkle on top of it, okay? So we are going to, keeping in the theme, our peach theme, okay? We have some peach preserves here, and we are going to spread a thin layer of peach preserves over our ham, and then we're going to sprinkle it with a little bit of Slap Your Mama, okay? So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. I'm gonna put a dollop right on top here. There we go. And we're gonna put on a glove. And we're gonna spread this all around. Like I said, this is just to act as a binder of sorts so that the seasoning will stick to the outside. So this is a spiral cut ham, so each one of these is cut into individual slices. And so it's not like we can inject this because the injection would run out all between the seams, okay? All right, I'm gonna switch hands and switch gloves, and we're gonna get our seasoning on. All right, like I said, we just want to put a little bit of flavoring on the outside of our ham. And I'm going to tilt my, oh, I almost lost the ham on the floor. Ain't that something? I'm going to tilt the ham around just so I can catch all sides. Okay, so that's relatively it. Let's go ahead out there and get the Kamado Joe squared away and get it ready and get the ham on here. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be cooking this ham up until, we're just really warming it because the ham is already cooked, okay? But we're gonna be warming it up until an internal temperature of 135, 140 degrees actually. And we're gonna start glazing this right at the end when it's between 130 and 140 degrees. So, hey, let's go on out to the patio. All right, guys, so now that we got our ham on the Kamado Joe, it's going to be out there for about 2.5, 3 hours trying to get the internal temperature up to 140 degrees, okay? So we'll go ahead and make our glaze now, okay? So first, we got our burner right here with our pot that's been warming. It's probably warming a little bit too much, okay? And the first thing we're going to do is going to put in about 2/3 cup of peach preserves, all right? So turn this down some. We don't want to burn it. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in 1/4 cup of actual peach juice. Now this juice came out of a can of peaches, okay? I wanted to find some peach nectar at the store, but I couldn't find any, so we just used the juice out of a can of Del Monte peaches, all right? And we'll go ahead and simmer this a little bit. Turn up just a little bit. All right. Okay. So the next thing we're going to put in here is we're going to put in 1/4 cup of molasses. All right. And this is going to be a pretty sweet glaze, so you can cut back on some of the sweet content if you want to, but remember the ham is going to be it's a cured ham, so it's going to be kind of salty. Okay. So we're going to let that simmer and get well incorporated. All right. And now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce just to balance out that sweetness, okay? And we're going to bring this up to a simmer. Man, that smells good already. Now, I know you guys are saying, okay, so when are you going to add the Crown Royal Peach? Now, there's 2 times you can add it. It depends on what result you're looking for. You can put the Crown Royal Peach in with the glaze and let it simmer, and it'll cook out all of the alcohol content on it. So if you're feeding this to a family, kids and stuff running around, that's probably the way you want to go. Me personally, this is going to be here at the house and be myself and whoever comes visit. So I'm going to add the Crown Royal Peach after the glaze cools down and mixes it in, okay? That way we still retain some of the alcohol content of the Crown Royal itself, all right? But you do it either way you want to do it, all right? So as soon as this simmers and I get it well mixed, we'll go ahead and add the Crown Royal. So don't go nowhere. All right, guys, so as I'm simmering and tasting this glaze, I realized it just wasn't peachy enough, okay? So I added another spoonful of peach preserves to the glaze to give it a little bit more sweetness, okay? And then I decided, well, I'm gonna go ahead and add the Crown Royal Peach now because I may have to take this ham into work and I don't want any of my airmen to be drunk on duty if they have to eat this ham, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and add my Crown Royal Peach in now, okay? That way we'll get the essence of the Crown Royal Peach, but we can burn off all the alcohol, okay? So we're gonna let this simmer and reduce by half so we'll have a nice thick glaze, okay? So, hey, hang around and come back when the glaze is ready to go. All right, guys, so our ham is off of the Kamado Joe. It was on there for about a little over 3 hours. We let it go to an internal temperature of 141 degrees. Now, when your hams get close to 145 degrees, then it starts to dry out. We had an opportunity to glaze it twice during the last half an hour of the cook. It smells fantastic. It's glistening. It looks fantastic. Let me give you guys a close-up look at this. All right, guys, so you can see there's some caramelization of the sugars from the peach and the syrup and the molasses. It looks fantastic. Got some great color to it. You can see that the spirals had started to separate, so we was able to get some glaze inside of that. So I am anxious to see how this bad boy tastes. So let's go ahead and cut into it and see what we got. All right, guys. Wow, this smells fantastic. I'm definitely anxious to see how this glaze turned out and see where I want to cut it at. I want to get in top of one of these spirals here. A lot of juice rolling out of it. So it's definitely still moist. Get a little bit on our plate here. And don't throw away the extra glaze that you had left over from mopping the ham during the cook. Some people may want to put a little bit of that glaze on top of their ham once they cut the spirals, okay? All right, so let's see what we got. Man, it's talking about tender and moist. Definitely smells smoky, a lot smokier than it would have tasted if we had just went ahead and threw it in the oven, okay? We used cherry wood during this cook here to give it a little color and to give it a mild smoky flavor, all right? Let's see what we got. Wow, talk about good. Wow, peach all the way through, the peach crown royal, the peach, the molasses. Man, a fantastic glaze on top of this. If I take this to work, these folks will make some fantastic sandwiches out of this. Got to get another bite. Wow, this came out fantastic. Tastes fantastic. Got a little sweetness to it. Still got the salt from the cureness of from the ham being cured. Then put a little dab of glaze on a piece, because the only place you're getting glaze is really on the inner edges of the slices, and then around the outside where it caramelized. But if you want a little bit more sweetness, you can just dab your ham with a little leftover glaze. That's what this piece is here. Let me see. Ham literally just melts in your mouth. Well, during the holidays, a lot of people cook turkeys, but you know, if you're tired of turkey, try a ham, mix you up a nice glaze. I'll have the description for all the ingredients and the directions down in the description block for the glaze recipe, okay? You don't have to use peach crown if you don't want to. You can use a whiskey-based glaze, that's fine. And you don't have to cook it on the Kamado Joe. If you got a pellet smoker or you got a Weber, just set it up for 2-zone cooking or set it up for slow cooking and cook this at 250 degrees until the internal temperature reaches 140 degrees, okay? Don't go above 145 or you're gonna dry it out, okay? And it'll take 2 or 3 hours to do it. This is definitely more exciting and more delicious than it would if it came out of your oven, okay? Well, that's all we have time for today. Like we always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. If it's fire, then damn it, there just might be a barbecue there. A little peach crown royal left over from the initial cook. Hey, as always, hey, we'll see you guys around the smoker. Man, that's some good stuff. Woo.